Hello, welcome to Hayden Cooks a Lot. I have some leftover items from my refrigerator, so I have decided that I'm going to make a healthy salad out of them with avocado, cucumber, mango, lime, cilantro, and onion, and then some items to make like some seasoning, a little bit of dressing to go on it. So before you get started cooking, make sure your hair is back, sleeves are rolled up, nothing on your hands and wrists, and you've washed your hands really well. So, oh, there goes one of my cats galloping through. All right, so I'm going to be using my chef knife again. Make sure that you have your middle finger here in the slot, and then your thumb here, your first finger here, it's bent. You go to use it. This was an English cucumber. And the English cucumbers are those long cucumbers that have a plastic wrapper on them at the grocery store. So this is what's left over from something else that we made. I either use this or I like to buy the little baby cucumbers. They're real skinny and short, and I usually can find those at either Walmart or Trader Joe's. And the English cucumbers are found everywhere, all the grocery stores. The regular cucumbers, for some reason, they're very seedy sometimes, and I don't know, I just like the flavor of the other two better. So I need to think about when I'm making a salad, when I take my fork and I'm going to go bite into whatever it is I'm eating, what size pieces do I want going into my mouth? So you don't want, maybe you want items really, really small, maybe you want a medium, but you know, usually people don't want a giant hunk or something, you know, coming up into their mouth that they got to open their mouth really wide and look gross when they're eating. There goes Lucy galloping again. All right, so I'm going to cut this cucumber down the center. So I'm going to rainbow it like this to hold it since it's round so it doesn't wobble on me. And I have my knife in the middle, and I'm looking over the top, and I'm going to hold on to it, and now I'm going to slice down the center. And now I'm going to go flat side down, and I'm going to quarter this cucumber, okay? And now I'm going to rotate it, and I have my fingers away from where the knife is going to go, and now I'm just going to cut it up into different little triangular pieces. Here we go. All right, so, whoop, get back over here. All right, so this is the bowl I'm gonna be making my salad in. So I'm gonna put the cucumbers over there. You're welcome to peel your cucumbers if you want. The skin on these are really thin. Same thing with the baby cucumber, so I don't mind eating this. But if I had the regular cucumbers, I would probably peel it. The skin is a little thicker on those, and they seem to have a really thick coating of wax that they put on there. That's what makes them really shiny. You can actually rub your fingernail up and down and peel up the wax too. And the wax is there to help them last longer. So next thing I'm gonna do, I have half of a white onion here. So I'm gonna use some of this, not all of this. So this one is already cleaned. I just need to peel it. So make sure that you wash your onions. Pull off any of the little hairy fibers off the end and any loose skins. And then you want to cut off, this is the stem end, this is the root end, and you want to cut off the stem end on its side, okay, and then go flat side down and cut directly through the center of the root, and that's what I have here, okay. So I'm just going to peel the outside of this off, and this peeling can go into my compost later. All right, and I have a sink over here next to where I'm working. And I cut this onion yesterday and then wrapped it up in the refrigerator. So I think for this, I want to have thin slices of onion, and then I want them, you know, about this long. So I'm going to use the tip of my knife, and I think I'm going to use about a half of an inch of this onion. So I'm just going to use the tip of my knife to cut in a half of an inch and make little slices going straight down. And then I'm going to come back this way, and I'm going to look over the top of where I'm cutting, and I'm right-handed, so I'm starting on the right side of this, and I'm going to slice this down, and this makes like a little type of dice that we're doing. All right, and that's enough right there. Slide that off my knife. So I have pieces about like this, and This is okay for me in my salad. So if you want them smaller, then you just end up with the root away from you. You do more of the little slices going in this way before you rotate, and then you do your little dice. Or you could, if you cut it like this, you think, oh, they're just too big, I should have cut them smaller. Since you have your chef knife that you're holding correctly and the blade is lower than the handle, you can put your palm on top, fingers closed, palm on top, and you can just run your knife through the onions. So sometimes when we cut onions, they make you want to cry. So if they make you want to cry and your eyes are burning, what you can do is go walk over to your freezer, stick your face, open up the freezer door, stick your face all the way inside the freezer and blink, 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 like that. And it helps to pull those oils and the burning sensation out of your eyes. All right, let me rinse off my hands. So if you do that for about, 15, 20 seconds, it pulls it right out and then your eyes will feel better. All right, so we have cucumber, we have the onion. I'm gonna put, to get this starting to marinate just a little bit while I prep the other items, I'm gonna go ahead and put a few splashes of balsamic vinegar. I got this at Lidl. So balsamic is like tangy and kind of sweet. So I'm gonna do a few splashes. So right there, that's about a tablespoon's worth. I can always add more later. Here's olive oil. This is from Trader Joe's. So I'm gonna pour a little bit of that on there. All right, and that's about a tablespoon too. And I'm gonna give those a toss, which will help them to start marinating down while I chop up the rest of the items. All right, yummy. All right, so I have cilantro, I have a lime, and I have a mango, and I have an avocado. So the next thing I think I'm gonna cut is my avocado. So, I'm sorry, my mango. So the mango, if this is the stem end of it, of course I already washed all these items. If this is the stem end of it, it has a seed that runs right through the center of it on both sides. You have to stand it up on end, or you can lay it this way if you want. And next to the stem is where you do your slice. You cut off this half of it, and you cut off this half, and there's a big flat seed like this in the center of it. All right, so I'm going to do that. And when I go to cut, I can kind of feel the seed with my knife. So I kind of push my knife up against that center as I go to cut. All right, can you see that? All right, so I'm holding on to this so it doesn't wobble on me, and I'm cutting down. I can feel that seed. And there's that half. This is the seed right here. You can't really see it because it's covered in some mango fiber. Now I'm going to turn around to the other side, and I'm going to cut this side off. All right, and move those out of my way. And I can actually cut the little bit off of each of these sides too, just a little bit. I'm running it against that seed. All right, okay, so let me get this out of my way. So mangoes are really, really fibrous. When we use the tip of our knife, we can cut down through the flesh, but don't go through the skin, and then we can peel that off. So I'm using the tip of my knife, and then I'm gonna go this way, and I'm gonna be dicing this up, okay? And I didn't really get that much off that one. Let's throw that one away. All right, and now same thing here. I'm using the tip of my knife to cut down, okay? Like that. You see that? So I cut down, but it did not go through the skin. I could feel the skin with my knife. Now I'm gonna rotate it, and I'm gonna do the same thing this way to dice it up. And then instead of having it put close to my fingers, I'm just gonna rotate it around so it's away from my fingers, okay? All right, and then I can take this and invert it. So I'm using my fingers on the bottom, and I'm pushing up, and I'm flipping it, okay? And there you can see the little cubes that I can cut off, okay? So I'm gonna do this one too. All right, slicing it up, rotating to the other side so I don't cut myself. And now I'm going to rotate this way and get the other side. And then I can flip this up. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to cut off these cubes. So I'm going to slice them off of the skin. Work it away from me. There we go. All right, and then this here, I'm just going to kind of hold it up and cut the cubes off right along the skin. Be careful not to cut through to cut your fingers. So mangoes are really, really, really good for you. They're a tropical fruit. And when you buy them at the store, they sell different varieties at the store. It's ripe. You can leave it on your counter to ripen, but it's ripe, but it has a slight give to it. Then it's ripe. It also smell kind of fragrant sometimes. So mangoes have vitamin C in them. They have copper. They have folate. What else do they have in there? Potassium, vitamin A, and B6 in them. There's other nutrients too, but that's mainly what they have the most of. All right, get this off. And I like to have mangoes sometimes on like oatmeal or put them in my fruit salads and stuff. They're good with just lime juice squeezed on them too. Nice and plain. All right. All right, yummy. All right, get that into the bowl. All right, I'm gonna rinse off my knife here. All right, make sure your knife is dry. You don't wanna have a slippery knife with you. And I'm just gonna wipe this board clean so it's not juicy everywhere. This is the towel I'm using to work this salad with. All right, so avocados. An avocado, you can get this type here that's dark and it's kind of like lumpy, bumpy, okay? Or you can get the kind that's like a big green looking one. These have more flavor, okay, and they're smaller. So they have a pit in the center of them. So make sure you wash it, and then when you go to cut it, you cut around the middle, all the way around, and then you twist them apart, okay, and then there's a little pit inside. Sometimes the pit's loose, like this one here, so I can just pop it right out. You can actually make this, turn this into a plant. You can stick toothpicks in it and have the bottom of it in a glass of water. It'll actually change the water every day, but it can actually turn into a little plant with leaves and stuff. And here is the avocado here. Okay, we don't eat the skin of an avocado. So for this here, I'm just going to use the same thing like I did with my mango. I'm just going to go in with the tip of my knife, and I just made slices, okay? And now I'm going to go the other way to do a dice. So same thing here. I'm coming in. I'm going to do slices. I'm cutting up to the skin, not through the skin, okay? So that one's ready. And then this one here I already washed, so I'm going to cut this one in half to show you. So I'm going to cut, I'm holding it so it doesn't wobble. I'm cutting down. I can feel that pit, and now I'm going to rotate around and cut through. And now I'm going to rotate. There's the pit, okay? And to get this pit out, be very careful when you do this. Hold your mango like this with your fingers out of the way. And I'm going to stab it with my chef knife here in the center. Stab, okay, like that. And now I'm just going to twist the knife, right, left, and then it pulls that little pit out. And then I can just pop it off into the sink, okay? And now I'm going to use the tip of my knife to cut down and then across up against that skin, okay? And you don't need to hold yours in the air when you do it. I'm just doing that so you can see what I'm doing. You can do that down on the cutting board. Now, if that makes you nervous, you can always just take a spoon and scoop the avocado out first and then dice it up, okay? So now I'm not gonna get this little stem in here. Sometimes there's a little brown part right there. So I'm gonna leave that there, and I'm gonna push my spoon down up against the skin, and I'm going to scoop around and pull that avocado out from the skin. The skin's not edible. All right, same thing here. Make this go around. And avocado is a monounsaturated fat. It's super, super good for you. Avocados have a lot of potassium in them. They have fiber, vitamin E, vitamin C, K, B6. They have folate in them, so they're really, really good for you. And some people will take, once they do the avocado like that, then they'll take this skin and split it like this, so where this fleshy part right here is out, and then when your face is clean, some people will take this and they smear it all over their face as like a little facial, and they let it sit on there and then they rinse it off. I've never tried that because I'm allergic to almost everything, it seems like. So, but hey, I don't know, maybe you want to try that, see how that feels. So, avocado facial. And then nothing goes to waste. All right, so next thing we have, I want to do the lime next because the avocado will start to oxidize and turn brown. So we have our little stem end right here, and this is a little bump that sticks out. So when you go to cut limes, first thing, if you want to get the most juice out of them, you can press down and roll them a little bit. You can microwave them for like 10-15 seconds, which can warm up the insides of them. So they will juice a little easier. You can cut this thing directly in half and use a fork to squeeze the juice out. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to rainbow over the top, holding the stem end in the bottom. I'm going to cut this thing directly down in half. Okay, now I'm going to stick a fork in it, and I'm going to squeeze this lime juice right over top. Okay, right over top of the avocado here. All right. And this one doesn't seem to be all that juicy. Sometimes the ones that are a little bit more yellowy looking, they're a little bit more juicy than the other ones. And a lime is ready to use when it has a slight give to it also. If it's really rock hard, you're not going to get hardly any juice out of that thing. So I'm going to use both of these halves because it was not very juicy. All right. Smells good. Burning my fingers a little bit. All right, I'm gonna rinse my fingers off. Okay. And now I took a small little handful of cilantro, okay? I have a little bit of the stems there. The stems are a lot of flavor. You need to make sure you rinse your cilantro really well because it has sand and dirt and stuff that can be in it. Cilantro is really, really good for you too. And they usually sell this at the grocery store right next to the parsley. So be careful that you look at your label. Also, you can give it a sniff if you kind of like pinch the leaf a little bit. It has a citrusy smell. I love cilantro. Some people can't stand it because they have a gene that makes the cilantro taste like soap to them. Very few people have it, but some people do. I love it. I think it's delicious, and I like it in a lot of the foods that I make. So I'm going to put it in a little pile here, and I'm going to hold my knife correctly. I'm going to put my palm on top, and I'm just going to start chopping away. Okay. Things bouncing on me. Scoot, scoot, scoot. A little pile. Mince this up and spread out the flavor along my salad. Put it back in a little pile. Just running my knife through it. The size that I want. Notice I have my thumb closed on here. My thumb's not like that over the knife. That's how you can cut yourself. You close your thumb when you do it. All right, that looks pretty good right there. Let me go one more time. All right, and then if you're gonna wipe your knife, you don't ever wipe up towards the blade because you'll cut yourself. So you start at the top and you wipe down, okay, to get the food that's on it off. All right, like that, and then you can't cut yourself. All right, so I'm gonna use my fingertips and I'm going to grab the cilantro and I'm gonna put it on top of the salad here. Ready? And that smells heavenly. All right, and then one more little thing I want to put in the salad is this. So I happen to have both of these. Trader Joe's sells a chili lime seasoning blend. And what's in it is sea salt, chili pepper, red bell pepper, lime juice powder. So it's like a spicy and citrusy and salty type of thing. It looks like that, chili lime. This one's not very spicy. Then there's Tajin, okay? And Tajin, you can find this in some of the Hispanic section of the grocery store. I found this at Aldi's, pretty cheap. And this one has even smaller print. Good grief. All right, let's see here. Chili pepper, sea salt, dehydrated lime juice, and that's about it. So this one happens to be a little spicier. I like spicy, so I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of this in my salad, and this has a little pop top on it. All right, this is good just sprinkled straight up on some mango by itself too, or some avocado. So I'm going to do little sprinkle of this in here. Oh, it's not coming out very good. All right, there we go. There it is. All right. All right, so I'm putting maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon. I can always add more. All right, and now I'm going to toss these salad ingredients together. And sometimes you just need to play with the food that you have and see what you can create with it. You never know what you're gonna like. This would also be great with some little like mandarin orange pieces in it too, would be heavenly. All right, so I've given this a stir. Looks really good. All right, so I'm gonna take a bite of it and see what I think. I have a little piece of mango, some cucumber, some avocado, and some onion and the cilantro all in one little spoonful. Has a bright flavor. I have the creamy avocado. I have the tang of that lime and the Tajin seasoning. The mango gives me a little sweet touch going on. I have the crunch of the cucumber and the onion in it. This is delicious. I do not need to add anything else to it. I think it's perfect. So I could put a little bit of jalapeno in there if I wanted a little spicier. That might be delicious in there. I do like raw jalapeno. But for tonight, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to feed this to my husband. So anyway, and don't double dip with your spoon. All right, well, hope you make a little healthy salad. Thanks for joining me.